All right, so here's something wild. There's a 27-year-old guy who's never built a SaaS product in his life, and last month he made $42,000 in commission in 1 month. Want to know how?
Okay, I'm listening. What's the catch?
No catch. He's a SaaS broker. He helps micro-SaaS founders sell their businesses to buyers who want to skip the building phase. And the crazy part? He started with less than $3,000 9 months ago.
Wait, so he's basically the real estate agent, but for software companies?
Exactly. And the market is exploding right now. Like, there are thousands of indie hackers building profitable SaaS products, and they have no idea how to exit. Traditional business brokers, they don't get SaaS metrics at all.
Oh, this is good. Okay, so today we're going deep, like really deep, on how you could start your own SaaS brokerage. We're talking deal flow, commission structures, the exact playbook to go from zero to your first 6-figure year.
And honestly, this might be one of the most overlooked opportunities in the SaaS world right now. Everyone wants to build the next big app, but the real money, it's in facilitating the transactions.
I love it. All right, let's dive in. This is IdeaCaster. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Alex. Let's get into it.
Okay, so let me paint a picture here. There's this founder, right? We'll call him Jake. He built a B2B Slack integration tool over 2 years. It's making $4,000 a month in recurring revenue, profitable, automated, good metrics. But Jake, he's burned out. He wants to move on to his next idea.
Right. Classic indie hacker situation.
Exactly. So Jake goes to a traditional business broker. You know, the kind that usually sells pizza shops and dry cleaners. And the broker looks at his business and goes, "So, where's your inventory? What's your foot traffic?"
Oh no.
They have zero clue how to value a SaaS business. They don't understand monthly recurring revenue, churn rates, customer acquisition costs, so Jake lists it himself on some forum, and he's fielding messages from tire kickers for 6 months. Meanwhile, there's a buyer out there willing to pay $80,000, like cash today, but they can't find each other.
And that's where the broker comes in.
Exactly. You become the matchmaker. You understand SaaS metrics, you vet both sides, you facilitate the deal, and you take 10 to 15%. On an $80,000 deal, that's $8,000 to $12,000 in your pocket for maybe 30 to 40 hours of work total.
Wait, hold on. That sounds almost too good. What's the catch?
I mean, there are challenges, we'll get into those, but the opportunity is real. Like, really real.
Okay, so before we get into how to do this, let's talk about who's already crushing it in this space. Because this isn't theoretical. There are real companies making millions doing exactly this.
Yes. Okay, so the biggest name is probably MicroAcquire, which is now called Acquire.com. Have you followed Andrew Gazdecki's story?
A little bit. He's the founder, right?
Yeah. So Andrew had built a couple of SaaS companies himself, and when he went to sell one of them, he realized the process was horrible, like totally broken. So in 2020, he launches MicroAcquire as this free marketplace for buying and selling startups.
Free as in no commission?
Exactly. He wanted to disrupt the traditional broker model, and it blew up. Within 18 months, they had facilitated hundreds of millions of dollars in transactions. And then they raised over $10 million in funding from investors.
No way, for a marketplace?
Right? But here's what's interesting. MicroAcquire started free, but they're moving upmarket now. They're going after bigger deals, adding premium services, which means there's this huge gap opening up at the lower end.
Okay, so who else is in this space?
So there's FE International. They're like the premium boutique. They focus on bigger deals, usually businesses doing at least $200,000 in annual profit. Super professional, white glove service. They've done multi-million-dollar exits.
That's the high end.
Exactly. And then there's Quiet Light Brokerage. They've done over $100 million in transactions. Empire Flippers is another one, though they do a lot of content sites too, not just SaaS.
But all of these, they're focused on bigger deals, right?
Yes, that's the key insight here. If you've got a SaaS doing $500,000 or $1 million in revenue, there are plenty of brokers who'll take you on. But if you're doing $2,000 or $5,000 a month, you're too small for them.
And that's the opportunity.
Exactly. There are literally thousands of micro SaaS businesses in that $10,000 to $500,000 valuation range, and most of them have zero idea how to sell. That's your market.
Okay, I'm seeing it. But why now? Like, why is this opportunity bigger today than it was 5 years ago?
Oh, great question. So there are like 4 or 5 massive trends converging right now.
Hit me.
Okay, number one, the explosion of indie hackers and solopreneurs. You've got platforms like Stripe, AWS, no-code tools. It's never been easier to build and launch a SaaS product. So there are way more founders creating these small, profitable software businesses.
Right, the barrier to entry is super low now.
Exactly. And a lot of these founders, they build something, get it to $3,000 or $4,000 a month, and then they realize, oh, I don't actually want to run this forever. I want to start something new.
Yeah, shiny object syndrome.
Totally. But that's good for us, right? Because it creates supply. Then on the demand side, you've got this whole new generation of buyers who'd rather buy than build.
Wait, really? I thought everyone wanted to build their own thing.
That used to be true, but think about it. If you're a developer with some savings, would you rather spend 2 years building a product from scratch, dealing with the 80% that fails? Or would you pay $50,000 for something that's already making $2,000 a month with proven traction?
Huh. When you put it that way, buying seems smarter.
Right? It's like buying a rental property versus building a house from the ground up. And then, the third big trend is that traditional brokers still don't get SaaS.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
I mean, I'm serious. Most business brokers are still valuing companies based on physical assets and local market factors. They see a SaaS business with no inventory, no storefront, and they don't know what to do with it.
So there's a knowledge gap.
A massive one. If you understand SaaS metrics, monthly recurring revenue, annual recurring revenue, churn, customer lifetime value, you're already ahead of 90% of brokers out there.
Okay, and what's the fourth trend?
Remote work. Post-pandemic, way more people are building location-independent businesses. And a SaaS business you acquire, you can run it from anywhere. That's super attractive to a certain type of buyer.
Right, the digital nomad crowd.
Exactly. So you've got more sellers, more sophisticated buyers, a knowledge gap you can exploit, and a cultural shift toward remote businesses. Like, the timing is perfect.
Okay, I'm sold on the market, but let's talk brass tacks. How do you actually make money doing this? Break down the economics for me.
All right, so there are basically 3 revenue streams. The big one is transaction commissions. This is pretty standard. You take 10 to 15% of the final sale price.
So on a $50,000 deal, that's $5,000 to $7,500.
Exactly. Now, that might sound low for the amount of work, but here's the thing. You can do multiple deals simultaneously. Like, you're not building the business yourself. You're facilitating.
Right, so it's a volume play.
Totally. If you close 2 deals a month at an average of $60,000 each, that's $12,000 to $18,000 per month in commissions. That's what, $144,000 to $216,000 a year?
Wait, hold on. That's just from commissions?
Yeah, and that's pretty conservative. Now, some brokers also charge a retainer fee up front.
Like before the business even sells?
Exactly. You'd charge the seller $2,000 to $5,000 just to take them on. This covers your time for business valuation, preparing the listing, creating the pitch materials, and it filters out non-serious sellers.
Oh, that's smart. So you're getting paid even if the deal doesn't close.
Right, though most good brokers will apply that retainer toward the final commission, so it's more like a deposit.
Okay, what's the third revenue stream?
Buy-side advisory. So you can also work with buyers, helping them find opportunities, evaluate deals, negotiate terms. You might charge a flat fee, like $5,000, or a percentage of what they save versus the asking price.
Interesting. So you could theoretically get paid by both sides?
Technically, yes, though you'd want to be really transparent about that. Most brokers pick a side, but the point is, there are multiple ways to monetize.
Okay, so let me do some math here. If you're doing 2 to 3 deals per month at an average commission of $7,000 plus maybe 1 or 2 retainers at $3,000 each, you're looking at
Roughly $150,000 to $300,000 in your first year. And that's pretty realistic if you're hustling.
That's wild.
And here's where it gets really interesting. You can specialize. Like, instead of being a generalist, you focus on one niche, B2B SaaS only, or dev tools, or e-commerce plugins.
Why would you do that?
Because then you become the expert in that vertical. You understand the metrics better, you know the buyers, you can command higher fees. There are brokers specializing in Shopify apps, for example, and they're crushing it.
Huh. So it's like being a real estate agent in a specific neighborhood.
Exactly. You know the comps, you know the market, you build a reputation.
Okay, I'm convinced this is a real opportunity. But how do you actually get started? Like, week by week, what are you doing?
All right, so I've actually mapped this out. Let's say you're starting from scratch today, January 1st, 2026.
Okay.
Week 1 and 2, you're setting up the infrastructure. And this is the beauty of it. You don't need much. Build a simple website. I mean, it can literally be a one-pager on WordPress or Webflow. Just something that says, I help SaaS founders sell their businesses with a contact form.
What else do you need?
A CRM, you can start with something free like HubSpot or a simple Airtable base. Some intake forms for sellers. What's your monthly recurring revenue? What's your churn? How much time do you spend on it per week? And you probably want some basic legal templates. NDA, letter of intent, purchase agreement.
Wait, can you just download those?
I mean, you can find templates online, but honestly, spend $500 to $1,000 and have a lawyer customize them for you. It's worth it.
Okay, so you're in for maybe $2,000 to $3,000 at this point.
Max. Probably less. Then week 3 and 4, you're sourcing your first listings. This is critical. You need deal flow.
How do you find sellers?
You go where the indie hackers are. You're on Twitter, searching for people tweeting about their monthly recurring revenue. You're in indiehackers.com, MicroConf community, the SaaS subreddit. You're DMing people like, hey, saw your project is doing well. Ever thought about an exit?
That feels a little cold outreachy.
It is, but you're providing value, right? Most founders have zero idea what their business is worth, so you offer a free valuation. Hey, I help people in your situation sell their SaaS businesses. I'd be happy to give you a free valuation, no strings attached.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, and even if they're not ready to sell today, you're building a relationship. Maybe they sell in 6 months, and you're the first person they call.
Okay, so you're hustling for a month, building relationships. What's next?
Week 5 through 8, you're building your buyer list. This is just as important as having listings. You start a simple newsletter, like SaaS businesses for sale this week. You're posting on Twitter, new listing, B2B tool making $3,000 a month, asking $75,000. You're in acquisition communities, Facebook groups, LinkedIn.
So you're building an audience of potential buyers.
Exactly. And this compounds over time. Your first listing might get 10 interested buyers. Your 10th listing, you've got 200 people on your list, and you get 30 inquiries.
When do you close your first deal?
Realistically, month 3, you've probably got 3 to 5 listings by now, and hopefully one matches with a serious buyer. You facilitate the due diligence, negotiate terms, handle the paperwork.
And you make your first $5,000 to $10,000.
Yes, and that's when it feels real. Like, holy crap, this actually works.
Okay, what happens in month 6?
You systematize. You've done a few deals now, you know what works. You create templates for everything. Due diligence checklists, valuation spreadsheets, email sequences. Maybe you hire a VA to handle some of the admin work.
And by year 1?
If you're doing it right, you've closed 15 to 25 deals. You're probably ready to hire someone full-time, either another broker to double your capacity or an operations person to handle the back end.
And you're making
$150,000 to $300,000, possibly more. And the beautiful thing, year 2 is easier because you have a reputation, a buyer list, inbound leads.
This is making sense. But I want to play devil's advocate for a minute.
I knew you would.
Okay, so what about competition? You've got Acquire.com, Empire Flippers, all these established players. Why wouldn't they just dominate the small deal market too?
Great question. So first, they're going upmarket. Acquire.com raised money. They have investors to answer to. They want bigger deals with bigger commissions. It's not worth their time to do a $15,000 deal, you know?
Okay, but what if they change their mind?
Then you've already built relationships in your niche. Like, if you're the Shopify app guy and you've done 30 deals in that space, Acquire.com can't just swoop in and take your buyers and sellers. You have the trust.
Fair, what else could go wrong?
Deal flow is everything. This business dies if you don't have consistent listings. So you have to be constantly sourcing, constantly networking. It's relationship heavy.
That sounds exhausting.
It can be. This is not a passive income business. You're in the trenches, on calls, negotiating, hand-holding both sides through the process.
What about reputation risk? Like, what if you broker a bad deal?
Oh, that's huge. One bad deal, where the seller lied about their metrics or the buyer got screwed, can destroy your reputation. So you have to be meticulous with due diligence. You're checking everything: access to analytics, Stripe dashboard, customer emails.
So you need to be thorough.
Incredibly thorough. And honestly, sometimes you have to walk away from a deal that feels off, even if it means losing your commission.
What about the legal complexity?
Yeah, that's real. You're dealing with asset purchase agreements, intellectual property transfers, sometimes non-competes. You probably want a lawyer on retainer, or at least someone you can call when things get complicated.
That cuts into your margins.
A little, yeah, but it's worth it for the peace of mind. And most lawyers will do deals for a flat fee once you've got a relationship.
Okay, so competition, deal flow, reputation risk, legal stuff, anything else?
Market timing. If there's a recession or tech downturn, deal flow can dry up. Buyers get cautious, sellers hold on longer. So you're a bit exposed to market cycles.
But overall, these seem like manageable risks.
Totally manageable. And honestly, the bigger risk is not starting. Like, this market is growing so fast, and there's so much opportunity for someone who's willing to hustle.
All right, let's talk about Andrew Gazdecki for a minute, because his story is kind of the blueprint for this, right?
Oh, yeah? So Andrew, he started as a founder himself. He built a company called Business Apps, which was like a DIY app builder for small businesses. Grew it to a few million in revenue.
Nice.
But when he went to sell it, the process was a nightmare. He spent months talking to brokers who didn't understand his business model. They wanted to value it based on traditional metrics that didn't make sense for a SaaS company.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Right? So he eventually sold it, but the experience stuck with him. He was like, there has to be a better way. And in 2020, he launches MicroAcquire.
Which was free, right?
Yeah, completely free. No commissions, no listing fees, just a marketplace where buyers and sellers could connect directly. And it was perfectly timed. Pandemic hits, everyone's online, indie hacking is exploding.
And it blew up.
Insanely fast. Within a year, they had thousands of listings and had facilitated tens of millions in deals. Andrew was on podcasts, Twitter. He became the face of startup acquisitions.
And then he raised money?
Over $10 million, yeah. And they rebranded to Acquire.com, started adding premium services, going after bigger deals.
So he basically validated the entire market.
Exactly. He proved that there's massive demand for this. And now that he's going upmarket, there's this whole tier of small deals that need someone to serve them.
That's the opportunity.
Right. Now let me tell you about a different story. A hypothetical one, but based on real people I've talked to.
Okay.
Let's call her Maya. She's 32, worked in SaaS sales for 6 years. Good at relationships, understands the space, but she's tired of the corporate grind. She wants to work for herself.
Classic.
So she reads about Andrew's story and she's like, wait, I could do this. She's got connections, founders she's sold to, buyers she knows from conferences. In March, she puts up a simple website, spends maybe $2,000 total.
Okay.
She reaches out to 5 founders she knows who've mentioned wanting to move on from their projects. 3 of them are interested in getting a valuation. She does the homework, comes back with realistic numbers.
And?
One of them decides to list with her, a WordPress plugin making $6,000 a month. She values it at $180,000 based on 3 times annual profit, which is pretty standard for that space.
Does it sell?
Not immediately. It takes 2 months. She markets it to her small buyer list, posts in communities, gets maybe 40 inquiries. Most are tire kickers, but 3 are serious. She narrows it down, facilitates due diligence, and in May, her first deal closes for $170,000.
So she makes $17,000.
At 10%, yeah? Her first deal, 3 months in, and now she's hooked. By the end of the year, she's done 6 more deals, some smaller, some bigger. She makes about $190,000 in her first year.
That's incredible.
And the second year, she's got a reputation now. Founders reach out to her. She's closing 12 to 15 deals. She's at $300,000 plus, and she hires an assistant.
So it compounds.
Exactly. The first few deals are the hardest because you're building trust from scratch. But once you have testimonials, case studies, a track record, it gets so much easier.
I love that story.
Okay, so let's wrap up with the practical stuff. If someone's listening to this and thinking, could I do this? Let's break it down.
Yeah, who is this actually for?
So, difficulty-wise, I'd give it a 6 out of 10. It's not easy. You need to be good with people, patient, organized. But it's not like you need a technical background or a business degree.
What about capital?
Super low. You could start with $2,000. Website, legal templates, CRM. If you want to be a bit more polished, maybe $5,000.
Time to first dollar.
60 to 90 days is realistic if you're hustling. Some people do it faster, but I'd plan for 3 months.
And in terms of personality, what kind of person succeeds at this?
Okay, so you need to be sales-oriented. Like, you're constantly networking, following up, nurturing relationships. If you hate talking to people, this isn't for you.
Fair.
You also need to be detail-oriented. Due diligence is everything. If you're sloppy with numbers or paperwork, you're going to have a bad time.
What about SaaS experience?
It helps a ton. Like, if you've worked in SaaS or you've been a founder yourself, you already speak the language. You understand what monthly recurring revenue means, why churn matters, how to evaluate customer concentration risk.
But it's not required?
Not required, but you need to learn it. Like, spend a few weeks reading about SaaS metrics, valuation multiples, deal structures. There are plenty of free resources.
Who would be perfect for this?
Honestly, former founders who've sold a business. They get both sides of the table. Or salespeople from the SaaS world who have a big network. Or even real estate agents who want to transition into a higher margin business.
Interesting.
And geographically, it doesn't matter. These are all remote businesses you're brokering. You could be in Kansas City or Bangkok. Doesn't matter.
I love that.
The other thing is, this can start as a side hustle. Like, you could do this nights and weekends while you have a day job, close a deal or two, see if you like it, then go full time.
Low risk.
Super low risk. Worst case, you spend $2,000 and a few months learning a new skill set. Best case, you're making 6 figures within a year.
Okay, before we wrap up, if you're listening to this and your brain is spinning with ideas,
Which it should be.
you need to check out ideacaster.co. We curate one actionable business idea every single day. We're talking breakdowns like this, but across every industry you can imagine.
Yeah, and if this deep dive was helpful, imagine getting something new to chew on every morning with your coffee. Go to ideacaster.co and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
All right, let's bring this home.
Okay, so quick recap. We talked about starting a micro-SaaS brokerage, helping founders sell businesses in that $10,000 to $500,000 range.
The market timing is perfect. You've got thousands of indie hackers building sellable assets, more buyers who want to skip the building phase, and traditional brokers don't understand SaaS metrics.
Economics are solid. You're making 10 to 15% per deal plus potential retainers. 2 to 3 deals a month gets you to $150,000 to $300,000 a year.
And you can start with like $2,000 to $5,000, simple website, some legal templates, a CRM. You're sourcing listings from indie hacker communities, building a buyer list, and closing your first deal in 60 to 90 days.
The risks are manageable. Competition from bigger players, need for consistent deal flow, reputation is everything. But if you're sales-oriented and you understand SaaS, this is totally doable.
Andrew Gazdecki proved the market with MicroAcquire. He raised over $10 million and validated that this is a massive opportunity, And now that they're going upmarket, the small deal space is wide open.
So, if you're thinking about this, honestly, just start. Build the website this weekend. Reach out to 5 founders next week. Offer free valuations. See what happens.
Worst case, you learn a ton about SaaS valuations and M&A. Best case, you're running a 6-figure brokerage a year from now.
And if you got value from this episode, seriously, share it with one person who needs to hear it. Like, send them the link right now and leave us a review. It helps more than you know.
We read every single one, and we'll be back tomorrow with another deep dive.
Until then, go build something.
Or broker something.
Exactly. All right, we're out. See you next time.
Peace.